who's worse, Brandon Staley or Josh Giddey?
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let me take away with
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC, UPenn's finest, and Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. Obviously, NBA Weekly and Summit's Plummets are going to be up first. We're going to talk about Week 12, potentially had the game of the year with Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo Bills. Had the first 400-yard game in centuries for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then Chris's Ravens also got a win on Sunday night. And, you know, sneakily, things are getting crazy over there in the AFC. Broncos have won 5 straight. The first seed in the AFC switched like 4 times in the matter of 3 days. It was completely crazy. And then we're going to preview Week 13 because, as I just said, the Eagles and Bills arguably just had the game of the year. The Eagles got to potentially run back another game of the year-esque game against the other NFC heavyweight, the San Francisco 49ers, and, of course, Hots Locks. We're going to do all that. But, of course, we're going to get into Summit's Plummets first, and Danny can get us kicked off, as always.
Yeah, my Summit of the Week. The Pittsburgh Steelers have outgained an opponent and won somehow. But guess what? The cold take of the week, or the plummet, I'll say, we did 16 points. 16 points, having 450 yards of offense. How is that possible? I don't know.
Hey, it's all about, you know, sustaining your drives and whatnot, but I'm proud of y'all. I'm very proud. Defense, I mean, yes, it took Jake Browning, but hey, y'all have held several teams to abysmal offensive performances, but the fact that Pickett is now accessing the middle of the field, I don't know if that's a newfound confidence. I don't know if that's 100% on play calling that he is targeting the middle of the field more or finding more success there. But yeah, Steelers.
Play calling is 1,000%. And as Chris says, TJ Watt is so unreal.
He is. Yeah, I mean, him and Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons are going to be going tooth and nail for that Defensive Player of the Year, but I am afraid Myles Garrett is due. So
He's
cooked. He's
hurt.
not cooked. He's not cooked, man. How long is he out for?
They said his arm's in a sling, so I don't know.
He's Myles Garrett, so I think he'll be okay. Chris, you want to deliver the goods, the Summits and Plummet?
Summit. Thank you, Baltimore Ravens, for letting me see my boy Keith Mitchell run wild. I was happy to see Keith Mitchell get the ball in the pass game, so that was really cool for me to see. I was thinking about it like before the game. I'm like, no Mark Andrews, like we'll need another safety blanket, and I was wondering like what it would be, and it was cool to see Keith Mitchell get a couple of looks out of the backfield. On top of having some pretty good runs, explosive plays, so I'm happy to see that. Happy that the Ravens got a win. I was a little nervous about the game on Sunday just because you just never know. Like I think everybody says it, but any team can lose on any day. But I was a little nervous about my boys, but they pulled it out, so I'm happy. I'm happy about that. So that's my Summit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, when you're playing a team, even as bad as the Chargers are, when you're playing a team that's got at least, you know, Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, anything can happen. They were quite literally the only two keeping the thing afloat. Chargers defense wasn't horrible. I might be box score watching a little bit, but you know, Zay Flowers had a phenomenal game. Could you imagine if he was on the Chargers?
Could you imagine?
It's almost like that was possible.
Could you imagine Quinn Johnston going right before Zay Flowers and me being an idiot I am being almost upset? I was like, oh, I wanted Quinn Johnston. Now, today, I could not want Quinn Johnston on my team less than I did on draft night.
Danny, I remember 2020, Danny was like, he really was trying to talk me into Jalen Reagor. And the Eagles draft him. I'm like, all right, I have no choice but to get behind this. Dog, 3 weeks into the season, I'm like, damn. I mean, of course, things would not have worked out the same way. Like, we wouldn't have Jefferson Smith and A.J. Brown, obviously. But, man,
Jefferson Smith though.
Jefferson and Smith, or Jefferson and AJ Brown, or
Oof.
any combo of those two would be ridiculous. Like Justin Jefferson with any Pro Bowl level wide receiver will be so entirely unfair because you cannot double team him. And it's not like that worked in the first place. So, and then did you have a plummet?
I sure did.
Oh.
And Danny, close your ears for this because you don't get to celebrate. My plummet is the fact that the Lakers were supposed to play a game against Philly last night, but I think only like 2 people showed up, so they ended up calling the game early. Mercy rule, 44-0. I think the score was. The Lakers didn't play. So yeah, that's my plummet. And the only reason why it's a plummet, I knew Joel Embiid could have a good game. I'm like, you know what, AD, maybe he does something wrong. Triple-double through 3 quarters. Shout out Embiid. I'm a Maxey believer. And yeah, so that's my plummet. Also, I had like a fake summit. I want to give myself some credit for drafting Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum 1 and 2 in my fantasy league with the picks I had. Because Tyrese Halliburton is the best fantasy point guard this year. And Jason Tatum, he's a 3-4 in fantasy. He's the best small forward in fantasy this year. So big ups to me.
Jason Tatum leads all. Jason Tatum is 3rd in the NBA in defensive rebounds. He's the only non-big in the top 10.
That's what's been doing it too. Those double points for Tatum just randomly, and then he's been getting 4 to 5 assists a game too. He's really expanded his game. And before the season started, that's one thing I wanted to see him do, like really have a better floor game. Not saying he couldn't before, but it's just he didn't have to. Marcus Smart took so many of those decisions away from him, whether bad or good. So it's cool to see him kind of expand his game that way. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah. No, I would agree. Easiest way. Go ahead, Danny.
That was the Embiid's 6th career triple-double. I was telling Tony the other day, Embiid has never had a triple-double. Like he because I know my stepbrother, his girlfriend's dad bet Embiid's triple-double like 2 years ago. And I was like, dude, that's so rare. That's like once every 2 years he gets this.
Yeah, like Chris was just saying with Tatum's playmaking leap, I will say Embiid has taken a bit of at least a reactionary playmaking league. So Halliburton, where I think Halliburton does it, like Halliburton, Trey, LaMelo Ball, all your pure point guards, they are anticipatory playmaking. Like they'll see things happening, or even before things are happening, they know what's going to happen. I'm gonna make the dish.
And Ja too. I like him like that.
And Ja as well. Yeah. I'll give him his credit as well. Guys like Embiid, Giannis, Tatum, they are reactionary. It's like I'm going to drive and kick, or I'm going to get doubled and then I'm going to kick. I'm not necessarily seeing the play before it happens. I just know I'm in trouble, but I'm going to make the correct play. And there's nothing wrong with that. No one's asking them to be Nikola Jokic. But I'll give Embiid his flowers. What he's been doing as a passer this year is very impressive. He is averaging more assists per game than James Harden, believe it or not. Crazy stuff. He's definitely on his way as of right now to another MVP, as it looks right now, at least. We'll see how the voting goes. But yeah. And then with Tatum, I was just going to say real quick before I get into my summit plummets, easiest way to tell if Jason Tatum is trying in a basketball game, look at his rebounds. If he's got 4 boards, he's clocked out. If he's got 10 boards, he's playing really well. He's in a bit of a shooting slump-ish kind of thing. But I will say a lot of it has to do with kind of like a lack of touches, which we can get into later because we're going to talk about in-season tournament night and, the end of the in-season tournament. But real quick, Summit, Jalen Hurts, goated MVP. Look, man.
Certainly is.
Look, man. I don't know what did Jalen do to get so many haters. It's last year, he a running back. Like he's not that good of a thrower. And now his rushing touchdowns don't count because they're from 1 yard out. And then his QB draw touchdowns don't count because he goes untouched. What do you want him to do, man? Like maybe the middle of the field is so wide because they're so worried about him tacking outside the numbers because he is statistically the best quarterback throwing deep down the sideline. He is literally prime Russell Wilson in that aspect. I promise you. But man, I can't wait for the Lamar versus Jalen Super Bowl, man. I'll be there.
Families
Chris
will be there. Families will be fed.
Families will be fed.
Imagine Keaton Mitchell, DeAndre Swift duel. To my veins. real
That sounds
speed.
it sounds hilarious on paper, but that's actually a banger. And
Exactly.
another thing, another double summit, because this Sunday was a DeAndre Swift masterclass, and it once again proves, yes, this O line is great. I promise you, not everybody can run behind it. Kenneth Gainwell can't run behind it. Boston Scott can't run behind it. The only one that seems to be able to run behind it is DeAndre Swift. When we ask our Eagles fans do this every single week. Kenneth Gainwell starts. All the Twitter is like, why is he starting? Where is DeAndre Swift? What did DeAndre Swift do? We put DeAndre Swift in. He makes a couple big plays, and then we're like, why don't you just start? Like, why are you being stubborn? Like, forget about the pass blocking, bro. Like, you can put Kenneth Gainwell in on pass plays if you want him for blocking. But, like, yeah. But we can move on to NBA Weekly. And we talk a lot about Celtics, Lakers, and Sixers here. So I'll just get quick Celtics out the way. They have to win by 22 plus tonight. And the Nets have to win by less than 16 if the Celtics want to win their group. If they want a wild card spot, there's a couple different things, but I'm locked in. I want them to advance to the elimination round. But let's talk about some different teams. I'm just looking at who's playing tonight. Well, we could talk about let's talk about the Texas teams. Let's talk about the Texas teams. This seems like a good episode to do that. But we can start with the Rockets. I mean, what Ime Udoka has, even at 8-6, I mean, that's still really good for the Rockets right now. A young team. Ime has them bought in. And Alperen Sengun is nice, and we all knew that. I'm glad everyone here knew Alp is
We knew it.
is nice. Chris, are we watching? Do you think we're watching Linsanity, or do you think like Ime's like actually got this team in a good spot?
Ime's been a great coach. It just people forgot because he's a freak. Other than that, Ime's legit been a great coach. And you can tell, like, for one thing, like X's and O's shows one thing, but in basketball, the way a player listens to you, especially the elite players on your team, the way Tatum will be locked in to Ime Udoka huddles, like just listening to him or taking direction, it's different. And not saying Missoula isn't doing a great job, because I think Missoula is doing a pretty good job, but it's different. And I think Ime Udoka is not only a player's coach, he knows how to get the most out of players, because it's a difference. You can be a player's coach and just cater to players and do what they want to do. Ime knows players and knows like how to get the most out of them. I think that's beautiful, because not only was he an ex-player, but I think he's also a role player. So he gets the most out of the Jayshon Tates. He can help Şengün get to another level that, I mean, I thought he would get there, but he's getting there faster. Jabari Smith's maturation hasn't been talked about a lot, but he's looked a lot better. Even though he's maybe scoring less, Jabari Smith's looked a lot better. So I think they're legit. I think they can go for anywhere between that 6 to 10 spot. Just because I think the West is so loaded, it's just difficult to get in that top 5. But I mean, it's possible. But I think they can be a easy at the end of the, like, you know, the end of the automatically in seeds for the playoffs, or they can go to the play-in tournament and make some noise, because I think all they were missing was a legit point guard. And Van Vliet in the Raptors, a lot of time he was more of a scorer because they needed him to. But he's a pretty good playmaker too, and I think it's helped the likes of Şengün, the likes of Jalen Green, and everything like that. So I think they're good. I think they're really good. I think rim protection could be an issue when they play the bigger teams in the West, but if they can keep defending on the perimeter like they can and rebounding, which they're doing really well and sharing the ball, I think they got a chance.
Yeah, one thing I want to say about Jabari Smith is, like, with so many top picks on the team, not everybody's going to end up having the pretty stats. Somebody's going to have to take a third wheel role or whatever it may be. That's fine. As long as you develop into a fine player, who cares? Like,
Is Jabari Smith the guy you just bring on your date with your girlfriend? He just like tags along. He's the third wheel.
No,
I
wouldn't even say that. Only reason I wouldn't say that is because what Jabari does well, they need him. Like they need him to do well. Like, because Jabari's a good stretch, and outside of Dylan Brooks shooting 8 threes a game, and Jalen Green maybe and Van Vliet, like I think Jabari Smith, like percentage wise, might be better, and it helps Şengün too, because that way Şengün can kind of will and deal down low, you know, and have some space. But I think
get the thing in the middle of the floor and just move it.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna. I think as he gets in, I haven't even seen Amon even really get acclimated into the game as much as possible yet. So knowing that they have a weapon like that, because you see what his brother's doing as just as an athlete.
I would say play Amon in the same role, like have him just be a gadget guy. He has the same metrics and everything. So I don't know. It's worth a shot. But yeah, I would agree. And one thing about Ime, because you mentioned Missoula, is that what I don't like about some Celtics. All right, it's fine to like be like, look, like Ime had to go, like Ime broke team policy, and it's kind of like, how do you bring him back after a year? Like that is kind of awkward. And like, okay, that's fine. What's not okay is let's not try to sit here and say Joe Mazzulla is a better coach than Ime Udoka. He's not. He
He's
might be a
not.
better offensive mind, maybe. He plays very analytical based basketball, and he kind of not, because Ime just let Tatum do whatever he wanted, and that's kind of how the Celtics got to the finals. But yeah, let's just not sit here and act like Ime is not a better head coach than Joe Mazzulla, because that he is. And Joe's a fine head coach. It's fine. However, you are expected to win with this much talent on your team. So figure it out, because for years Brad Stevens could not handle talent. He could not manage talent. He's a great floor raiser, but kind of like Doc Rivers, how do you manage talent? I hope just, Ime doesn't succumb to that. Onto the Texas team they're playing tonight is the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas 10-6, and kind of just what we thought. Historic offense. Two of the greatest offensive players I think I've ever seen in my life, Kai and Luka. Derek Lively's been a very fine plug-in for them. Hardy and Green, obviously, taking some next level steps. Tim Hardaway, still our favorite. I love him, man. I love him, man. He is not scared of a single shot on the basketball court. You gotta love it, man.
The Mavs are missing two things. They're missing two things.
I think we might be on the same wavelength on this one, but I'll let you go. Yeah, because I want to hear it.
Danny, shout out to your team actually being smart and getting Kelly Oubre. They're missing a wing.
Missing Paul Reed, Chicago legend.
There's not a single basketball team in the association missing Paul Reed. I promise you.
I do love B-Ball Paul, but to Danny's point, B-Ball Paul wouldn't hurt. He's better than Rashawn Holmes. I'll tell you that. He's better than Rashawn Holmes. So, but yeah, they're missing a wing that can really do something, because for now they have to switch their wings out. Like if they want defense, they have to put in Josh Green. If they want to be able to shoot, they got to put in Tim Hardaway. They're missing an Oubre type, and what they need to do is to hope that Clint Capella is on the block soon, because that's what they need. They need a older version of Lively to let Lively kind of get ready and get into it for the next couple of years. They need somebody to show Lively how to effectively roll to the rim and effectively and how to be effective without touching the ball for 8 to 12 possessions in a row, like just rim running straight down the court. And I think Lively's getting it, but I think Capella's the king of it. He's done it with Harden, he's done it with Chris Paul, he's done it with everyone. So I think they're missing a wing that can a two-way wing, and they're missing a Capella type. Like, that mold of Capella, Mitchell Robinson, Mark Williams, like that 7-footer that can,
just
lively but 5 years old.
Yeah,
lively but 5 years old. Anything but Dwight Powell, to be honest with you.
Lob block. That's all you need. Yep. But I mean, Derek Lively's been like good. He's been. I think he's been good. Not necessarily like I think when you have him, you need like. I mean, JaVale's a little old at this point, but like you would need a JaVale, you would need a Dwight Howard. I mean, the way DeAndre Jordan looked last night, DeAndre Jordan, they say Jokic has system center. But yeah, I mean, they're playing all right. The defense is atrocious. I mean, like, if they get down, it's over, because they cannot pair buckets and stops. They can pair buckets. They can go bucket with anybody. But once they can't score, it's over, because they're not stopping the other team. And I'm shocked they believe Grant Williams was going to fix that. But
Grant Williams is not fixing much on an NBA roster. He's going to give you an occasional three, some defense here and there.
This is why
if Marcus Smart was a Kmart version,
or if PJ Tucker was 8 years younger and had a short and looked like Grant Williams, that's exactly who he is. He shoots
Bingo.
more threes though. He shoots more times. He misses a lot though, but he shoots more than PJ, I guess.
Yeah, Grant is shooting. I can't see his percentages.
30.
from this
My guess
app,
is
but,
37%. My guess is 37.
I'll be able to find out for you right
That sounds
now.
like a great guess,
Grant,
Danny. Honestly, I'd be
Grant
surprised.
Williams stats. Let's see it.
We
He
looking up
is
Grant Williams' stats in
shooting
23.
46% from the field.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
find his three. I'm gonna find his 3-point percentage because that's really the only one that matters.
Yeah, he's probably shooting like 41 if that's the case. Then I'm sure he doesn't shoot many twos.
44. Oh my
I knew it.
God,
I knew he
he's got
doesn't shoot many
strap.
twos. Yeah, I'm about to
He's
say.
got a strap.
I knew
Okay,
it.
never mind. I let me stop disrespecting him. But shout out Ime for making Grant Williams playable, man, for a whole playoff run. That's unreal work. He's special. And
Ime
to the last-
Udoka, you have black magic. Whatever I put in our hots and locks, you have in Grant Williams.
Nah, he the freaky fairy. That's all.
Hey,
all
nothing
he
wrong with
is, man.
that. Nothing wrong with that.
No. There's something wrong with it when it affects my basketball team, man. There's something wrong with it. And you are married to Nia Long.
Unreal
What is,
fumble.
What are you doing?
It's like
How
Mark
you-
Sanchez fumble, Ime Udoka. They're like this level right here.
What
That's
is-
You know
unreal.
what's crazy? You know how great Ime is? He had Nia Long blaming the Celtics for it. Not even him. She was like,
Different.
stop putting his business out there.
Say it, Danny. Black magic.
Yo,
Say it.
What
Black
does eBay
magic,
have? Well, moving on to the last Texas team, the San Antonio Spurs have lost a million games. The San Antonio Sporks have lost a million games straight, and I don't know why. I don't know if this is just their devious tank job, but it's never been more obvious that Trey Jones should start at point guard. I don't know what the holdup is. He is a great playmaker. He is Sohan is not a bad basketball player. That's not my point. But why are you running a power forward at point guard? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But
Why do they
Trey,
hate Wemby?
I don't know. They hate Wemby and Trey. Free Wemby and Trey already.
Dude, you know how many times I've turned on League Pass and I watch Wemby just running down the lane? Like after a missed shot, he's like filling the lane and they just won't throw it to him. Like he'll be like, and it's not like it's somebody in front. He's doing a rim run by himself and they're
Literally
not
like
throwing
open in the
ball
lane,
after
or he'll see a guard sitting in there. I'm gonna post up.
yeah.
Like I don't know.
I don't
man.
understand
Like, I
it.
don't get it.
I don't get
I
how
don't-
Pop lets it happen either. Like for one thing,
Yeah,
with the
he's sick
Spurs-
for that, man. Like he's
I'll be
wild.
letting it happen to Timmy. Man, and my thing is with who they have, like with Keldon and Vassell, they're really aggressive offensive players, and I like them as offensive players. But I think what they've been used to is them just being the guy because the Spurs were so bad, and the Spurs are still really bad, but now they have the guy. So now you have to get it to him to see what it's for. And I don't think they've grasped that yet. So that's why I agree with you. Trey Jones should 100% start. Like, look at Tyus Jones. He tries to stop Jordan Poole from making stupid mistakes, but he can't stop him. He's just immovable force. You can't stop Jordan Poole. He tries, but look at Trey Jones would do so much better. I want more for Wemby. Free Wemby. He should be a
Yes,
Rocket.
I know you can't directly compare like, oh, look what Tyus is doing, and then Trey could do that.
Yeah.
This is the only situation where I was like, look what Tyus is doing. I promise you, Trey can do that. They're the same exact player. They weren't called the sheriff for no reason at Duke. Like they play defense. They strap up, and I'm pretty sure Trey's last year at Duke led the ACC in assist to turnover. Tyus has been doing that for years off of the bench, having a 5-2 turnover ratio or assist to turnover ratio. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
They need to play Trey more because Trey's looking for Wemby. And I will say I'm fine with Keldon and Devin Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell getting their shots up because more often than not it's going in, especially with Vassell. Oh my God, he's so good. But let's realize who the best player on the team is. And Wemby's, because of the pro stuff, and even now, his IQ is really good. Like really, really good IQ. I'm not gonna say like rookie LeBron level IQ because he's just a little different. It's unfair. But no, Wemby's he knows the mismatches. He knows fast breaks. I'm gonna get in the lane whether he's getting the ball or not.
Yeah,
That's not really up to him. But
Wemby proved to me that he knows what he's doing the way he defended Jokic. Nobody defended Jokic that well, and to see, even though he's got scored on, Jokic is who he is. But Wemby played really good defense, really good positional defense, really good staying vertical. He stayed out of foul trouble for the most part. That was a good sign for me because I've seen Anthony Davis and Jaren Jackson not even a real player. I've seen Anthony Davis struggle against Jokic before. I'm sorry. I
I got a
do hate-
picture with him.
I do
I got
hate
a
on
picture
Jaren
with
Jackson.
him.
I'm sorry.
You also got a picture with T. Morant.
Oh, shout out
Yeah.
T Jaren greater than. But
He
yeah,
looked like
Yo.
Usher.
Yo, I did
You're
say
good,
that.
man.
He did. He looked like Usher a little bit.
he
He
does.
do,
Yo,
especially with
gotta-
the glasses.
Yo, I thought it was Usher. He's sitting there with. I was like, well, "Who's TM?" And I was like, "Is that T Mac?"
Yo, he tripping. Nah, I'll say this. Funny thing about Jaren Jackson, he was like he wants to play for Team USA. Team USA does not want you playing for them. It's over, brother.
Sorry,
But
brother.
yeah,
It's like
I'll
Furkan Korkmaz. Who
Better
won
learn
me?
summer league Chinese.
Oh yeah,
brother.
he's Furkan Korkmaz requesting a trade. Who won me?
Turkey from
No.
Turkey.
No one.
So with last thing I'll mention about Wemby, funniest thing ever is that video of him getting like posted up by what's his name? Who's that really big guy on the Grizzlies?
Is it?
What's
Oh.
his name?
Xavier,
Kenneth Lofton. Yeah. So he was
Kenny
posting up Wemby in like the U16 whatever tournament. And people are like, oh, like imagine when he has to play Embiid. Imagine when he has to play Giannis. First of all, nobody can guard either of those two. So
Literally.
I don't know what you're gonna expect out of, Wemby. But and then second thing is you can back him down all you want. The thing is that he has to reach up and his hands are between you and the rim. So do what you want with that. Now, we can get into some little week 12 recap. Free Bryce Young. That's all I kind of really got to say about that game. They kind of cleared house. I'm not. Did they? They moved their special teams coordinator to interim head coach. They're kind of just a mess, man. I mean that's like the simplest way to really put it. None of the Thanksgiving games were really crazy. Oh, Chris locked the Panthers, by the way.
That's
and his
insane,
hot
bro.
and his hot take missed. But I will say the Cowboys ran up the score in the fourth quarter. Completely unfair. Yeah, they scored 25 points in the fourth quarter, dog. It was a 20-10 game going into the fourth, man. They can eat one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Danny's hot.
Wait, I'm done with the narrative that the Cowboys blow teams out of the water, like from the gates. They play close games, and then they just like beat up on teams when they're ass.
Exactly. Yes. And then Dak gets MVP praise for it. Dak has been fucking awesome this year, man. Dak has been really, really good. He also has not beat a team that is really, really good. And that's not all on him. This is a team game, and wins are a team stat. But you got to bring this same energy, man. He put up the stats against Philly. You've been putting up the stats against Phillies for years. You have to do it against the Niners. You have to do it against the Niners because the way it's shaping up, you're going to San Fran in the second round for the third straight year, or you're playing them in the playoffs for the third straight year. You got to beat them, man. You got to get the monkey off your back, or otherwise, you're never beating that rep. Just like Joel Embiid, he will never get the rep of like Boston. Completely is in his head. Like he can't beat Boston until Dak beats the Niners in the playoffs or in general. It's gonna be dark for him. But yeah, I agree, Danny. Lions are frauds. I think we knew that though. And I went too far forward. Okay, looking at some of the Sunday games. Because nothing to really talk about Tim Boyle, but any game y'all wanted to talk about in particular? I mean, we had the Caleb Williams Drake May Bowl in New York. Jags Texans. You want to talk about that one?
That's the one I want to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Take it away, Mr. Dallas.
That's me, unfortunately. But I will say this. We watched the Prince that was promised versus CJ Stroud. And I will say, I was not disappointed. I was looking for a shootout. I got what I wanted enough. I seen some playmakers play. Watching CJ Stroud week to week, it's like I hadn't seen him in 3 months. He just gets better and better every time. He made some turnovers. Like I do get that. Totally get that. But the throws he did make, I'm like, wow, this dude looks like. And a quarterback is going to be in the elite conversation for a while. So it was cool to see that. I don't know. I think, Calvin really dropped a touchdown. That was rough. But outside of that, I think it was a really good game. I think that'll be one of those to where we look forward to Jacksonville Texans, which sounds like such a crazy sentence.
Who would have ever said that like 3 years ago?
Right.
Who would have ever said that the beginning of this season?
Literally. So I think that's really what I take away from that game. It was just cool to see the two young quarterbacks actually show up, because we've talked about on here so many times we want to see a certain game and we hadn't got it. I think we got a good quarterback performance from both of those. And I want to shout out Tank Dell too. I wasn't as high on Tank Dell. I didn't think he was going to be this effective this early. Danny did. God did. So those two did. They know. I did not.
God did.
I said it
before Danny. I said it at the Senior Bowl. I said Jaden Reed, Tank Dell, they gonna be nice.
Oh, sorry. Rephrase. Don't worry about
Screw Danny.
Danny did. God did. All three of y'all did. I didn't.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't. I was off. I was wrong. So shout out to Tank Dell for proving me wrong.
You know what I would say about Tank Dell though? His combine was atrocious, and if I take no stake in the combine, so I didn't care, but I was kind of like, damn, his draft stock gonna slip, but like it definitely shouldn't, because he balls. Nico Collins also balls. He had 7 catches for 104 yards. That's ridiculous.
I'm a fan of Nico Collins too. I'm a fan of him too.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people are kind of like, oh, well, Stroud is doing this with worse weapons. Like Nico Collins never had a 1,000-yard season. I'm like, Danny can advocate for this as well. It was so evident last year that Nico Collins was so unbelievably due. He was taking over the wide receiver 1 roles. He just had Davis Mills at quarterback. All due respect to Davis Mills, going to be a solid backup in this league for a very, very long time. But like, come on. Like that team was just not good enough to have a 1,000-yard receiver. Like they did not have the offensive line present. They did not have the overwhelming force at quarterback to make that happen. Now, they make each other. Like I'm not saying that like, Nico Collins is the greatest thing ever. I'm just saying put respect on his name, put respect on Tank Dell's name, because I think truly by the end of this year, I think we'll start having conversations about them being a top 10 wide receiver duo if we're not already having the conversation, because they are both very, very, very good. Conversation, at least, because the top 3 those spots are locked up. They're not up for debate. Wherever you want to put it, it's Brown and Smith, and then Higgins and Chase, and then you got Hill and Waddle, and then everyone else go fight for everything else. And then you got Pickens and Deontay Johnson somewhere down the line. But
you got Nelson Aguilar and Odell Beckham at a number. They're the number.
Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman are certainly a duo.
They are 2 players.
They are nice though. I ain't gonna lie. Rashad Bateman, from what I saw, had a pretty good game.
Did you see it for 4 minutes?
Yes, I saw all his catches. I saw all his catches.
They were quick too. Pop, 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 done.
Yeah, hold on. He had. What did he have? He had 2 catches. I saw 2 catches. Oh my god, I thought he was hooping.
I'm telling you, see Rashad Bateman, like he'll catch an 18-yard pass, and the next play he'll catch a 12-yard pass. You're like, all right, Rashad Bateman figured it out. Then you look up, end of the game, 2 catches, 30 yards. That was all he did. Like, oh, okay, well I guess that's done.
Zay Flowers had 5 catches for 25 yards, bro. How do you do that?
Wait, you know who really turned up? Julio Jones. He was really in the game blocking. Olamide Zaccheaus. I'm kidding. Olamide Zaccheaus, big huff session. Really big huff session.
Yeah, that was tough. But we'll get to the Eagles in a little bit. There's any other games we want to talk about? Rams really smoked the Cardinals. Free Bryce Young. Desmond Ridder got a win, and the Falcons are on the top of the South.
Bijan got a touchdown too. I was happy to see
Bijan got a touchdown.
I was happy to see
it's crucial. Broncos. They won 5 straight.
How do they keep doing
because their defense, I heard a crazy stat. They let up 70. Ever since they let up 70, in the next 5 or 6 games, whatever it was, they've let up less than 80 points. Or they let up 80 points in those combined games. That's monstrous, man. Like, that's That's pretty good to
That's
have a
elite
defense do
football,
a
man.
complete 180 like that. And yeah, they were hurt against the Dolphins, but you should never get 70 put up on your dome top. And it could have been more. And the fact, I think Sean Payton needs his credit. I think what he's done is made things a lot easier for Russ. And then when he needs Russ to be, when you need to let Russ cook, he's been cooking. The stats won't show it, but he is making big plays, especially that game against Buffalo, where he's twirling around the backfield, and then he finds Sutton in the deep corner like Jalen Milroe in the 4th and 31.
Oh my God.
I got to give Sean Payton his credit, man. I think they're now in the thick of the playoff race. Defense has changed entirely, and the offense is starting to find a groove. I haven't heard any news about Jerry Jeudy wanting out. Not that he can get out. I mean, he can get cut, but I haven't heard any news about him. Cortland Sutton's been balling. Russell Wilson is cooking. He's Mr. Unlimited. You got to be unlimited. When you have that mindset, when you think about where you want to go in life, you got to be unlimited. And Broncos been unlimited. I will not talk down on them again. And as for the Browns, Super Bowl hopes, over. It's over. Over. I had a slight chance with Watson because, like, there is that ever so slight chance that maybe he can be somewhat of what he was in Houston. The thing's over. Unfortunately, Temple legend PJ Walker can't do it by himself. These receivers aren't good enough. So, and no, but real life, Dorian Thompson-Robinson wasn't all too horrible. There were some drops. So
What
there's
happened to
that.
him? Is he okay? Is he alive?
Not quite sure. I'm not gonna lie, but that quarterback situation like makes my head hurt. Like every time I turn on a Browns game, it's like it's no offense. They're not moving, and I don't like it. I hate watching stagnant offense. That's why I never watch a Jets game. I'll never do it because it's just like no matter who they got back there, at quarterback, they can't move the ball downfield. And it's so frustrating.
Free Brees Hall too, by the way. Free him.
Free Brees Hall, man. Free Garrett Wilson. Free Garrett Wilson. My
Brees
God.
Hall is a Raven. I fear. Please make it happen.
Garrett Wilson is a Steeler. Could you imagine, Danny?
Low key.
Actually, not. Would the quarterback situation get worse? Nah, I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm serious. But any other games you want to talk about before we talk about game of the year? I say nothing to talk about in the Monday game. I mean, Josh Dobbs' Linsanity runs over. Who would have ever saw that coming? All right. Well, we can talk about game of the year. Okay, weekly rant about referees. Fans, please stop blaming referees. If a team lost by 3 points, you should probably look at your team and hold them accountable. Are you sure there were no plays where the Bills could have just done better to win the game? Maybe Gabe Davis could have ran the right route. Maybe James Cook could have caught the ball down the sideline. Maybe Josh Allen should not have thrown an interception in his own territory when they were up 3. Josh Allen played amazing, by the way. I'm not necessarily saying that this loss is in any way, shape, or form his loss. He's quite literally the only reason they were in the game. But I don't know, man. Look inward. Why are you letting Jalen Hurts roll to his left, flip his hips on 3rd and 15, find Zacchaeus in the back of the end zone over top of what's supposed to be one of the best safeties in the NFL? Why is Devontae Smith just cooking you? Why is that happening? Why is DeAndre Swift running all over the field, finding cutback lanes, making people miss? Like, you got to look inward. I don't want to hear about the referees because, to be quite honest, the Bills got 10 penalties in the first half, and they deserved every single one of them because your team was playing sloppy. Okay, enough referee talk. Danny, let's talk about this game, man.
One thing I want to talk about, it's the fact that Gabe Davis is elite when it comes down the stretch. You said you're never betting on Gabe Davis in the chat. I said, fuck it. Gabe Davis is him when it comes down the stretch. In these big games, it's not Stephon Diggs. It's ass. Gabe Davis.
He's ass.
I agree.
He's not so good. Ass. Game on the line. He ran an option route 30 yards downfield. I mean, fair. He did hit your bet. Kudos. But
he ran the option route. Allen put it the wrong way.
What? Allen made the easier throw. He threw it to an open area in the middle of the field. It does not get easier than that. Gabe Davis is a moron.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all. I watched Lamar Jackson throw it to Isaiah Likely. He didn't even turn around yet. The ball's already on the ground. I don't know what route Likely was running. I don't know what route Lamar thought he was running. But it was like 3 of those plays. I was just like, please, Mark
just
Andrews, can you go to the same doctor Kobe went to get his back fixed and get your ankle fixed? Because we need something. we
Nah,
need.
he
Blood has that
yeah.
cracked fibula. He's
Yeah,
done. He's cooked.
Nah,
that's what it is?
if they make the champion, no, they said he has an outside chance to make it if they make a deep run.
But he has a
Which
cracked
they could
tibia?
very well find themselves in the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl without him because they employ Lamar Jackson. So
Why
Yeah,
did
he's
I
cooked.
know he had a cracked tibia? Thank you for telling me that. Jesus, I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah,
I thought it was an
Wait.
ankle fracture.
I think it's a cracked fibula.
fibula. That ankle's destroyed. That's the point. So one thing I want to point about Josh Allen though, 29 for 51. That ain't necessarily a pretty game. I'll say that. 51 pass attempts, but he did have 339 yards, 2 tutties. He also had 81 yards on the ground. He was running. Unfortunately, my king outplayed him. Jalen Hurts only had 27 passing yards in the first half. Something abysmal. It was bad. It was getting bad. I was scared of Twitter. I had to block this one TikTok account that I like their account. It's funny, but they were trolling the Eagles. I was not in the mood. I had to block them. But Jalen Hurts, 18 for 31, 200 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, an interception, 65 rushing yards for 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith finally got that 100-yard game. Needed that bad. He's had he's had a couple games of 99 and 98 yards. No, we need the hundreds. We need them to stack up. Come on. AJ Brown caught a touchdown. Devontae Smith caught a touchdown. Zacchaeus caught a touchdown. Jalen Brandon the other 2. Come on, man. And then, Jake Elliott. Danny, as a former kicker, can only admire what Jake Elliott did.
Oh my lord!
In the rain, against a little bit of wind, 59 yards.
That was nuts.
Man.
That was nuts.
Now, where I have a problem, another thing that Bills fans can take accountable for, McDermott, he called a timeout with Jake Elliott rushing to get on the field. Why? You didn't ice him, you gave him more time. Now you don't have that timeout. I think they might have had one. You have 20 seconds with probably the strongest arm in football, and all you gotta do is go kick a field goal. You don't go for it. You literally watched a man with 13 seconds do that to you. You don't think you get? Josh Allen has had his way against his defense all day, and you do that, yo.
It's wet. It's slippery. The conditions aren't good, and you're a coward.
He is a coward. He's a coward. Nick Sirianni can never. Jalen Hurts can never. And Brandon Graham can never.
Brandon Graham said, we got Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he said, you don't know Jalen Hurts like I know Jalen Hurts. They don't know Jalen Hurts like we know Jalen Hurts. Bro, watching Jalen Hurts out there, it's kind of how many athletes have you guys watched in your lifetime, or just name certain athletes where you watch in your lifetime? It's they're out there, you got a shot. I felt that way about Carson Wentz in 2019 when that team was abysmal. But I was like, hey, we got Carson. We might be able to win. Or I'm trying to think of some really good 2010s team.
I got one.
Or with Cam Newton. When Cam Newton was in Carolina, I'm you got Cam, man. You can do anything can happen. You have Jalen Hurts out there. I truly believe he can make anything happen. He's starting to be able to make every throw on the field. He can do it from the pocket. He can do it rolling out. He can do it with his feet. He is one of the best all-around quarterbacks in the league. And this is one of those weeks, man, where I talked with Danny a couple weeks back. I said, this is any given week, a certain amount of guys can be quarterback too. Jalen Hurts, I do think he outplayed Josh Allen, and the stats won't back that up. And I think Danny might disagree, which is fine because Allen played great. If you disagree, that's okay. But I think when he needed to step up, down 10 in the fourth quarter, Jalen was mistake free. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. But we can go to week 13. Danny, did we want to start with any game? I didn't want to start with Niners Eagles right off the bat because we just yapped about them for an entire 15 minutes. So I was like, let's start. Start with the Thursday game. It's Seattle visiting Dallas, which I have a very bad feeling because I said last week I kind of thought the Commanders would bring more issues to the table for the Eagles than the Seahawks will. I think the Seahawks match up really, really bad with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys might have a day here. That's how I'm feeling. What do you think, Danny?
I think that the Seahawks match up perfectly with the Cowboys. I think they can
You
throw
think
it on them.
so?
Yep. I don't think the Cowboys are built to beat a team like the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are a better team than people think, and they played a rough couple weeks. And I think they can go in against Dallas, against a team that lost to the Niners 42-3, whatever it was, and beat them. I believe it's in Dallas as well.
I disagree. I don't know where you see that they match up with Dallas well. Because, I mean, trenches for trenches, Dallas is only losing to like two teams in the league. And
Dallas likes throwing the ball, and you know who else? You know who likes to defend the ball really well in the secondary? Seattle.
Seattle gonna guard CeeDee Lamb.
They can put big.
They
Spoon
don't got
on
no. They got no one in that second. They got Tariq Woolen got benched. That's one. Two. No one in that secondary can guard CeeDee Lamb. Quite frankly, I don't think there's anyone in this league that can guard CeeDee Lamb.
I agree
He's
with you
been
there.
Unreal this season, and even so,
Top five.
We'll have conversations. We will have conversations because I'm there with you. I'm almost there with you.
I'm there with y'all too.
I just need to see a little bit less from some other guys, but we'll be there. We'll be there. I mean, this season he's been top 3. This season he's been top 3, but we people got like the overall body of work. So
we're getting "There Is a Woman in Somalia" CeeDee Lamb edits.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The smooth edits. That's Paul George's song. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Seattle really matches up poorly, at least because of the trenches. Because even if Dallas doesn't want to throw the ball, let's just get behind Tony Pollard. Let's get behind these backs. Fuck it, let's get behind Dak. Fuck it, let's run the ball with Dak. I don't know. I think Dallas is going to be able to run the ball however they want. They're going to be able to throw the ball however they want because, quite frankly, there hasn't been anybody that could stop them from doing what they want besides the Niners. But, who would have saw that coming? We can move on. Some Sunday games. Any other? Man, what a slate. Kyler visits Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. I was saying,
not a great
I felt me and Danny felt a certain way about that game a couple hours back, just because Kyler's back. We're kind of like, maybe they could upset the Steelers. I don't know. The Steelers' offense just might be too much. Imagine saying that 2 weeks ago. The Steelers' offense is too much. I think it could be though. I mean, 400 yards of offense is nothing to scoff at. Like for real. Like, let's see. Any other? I mean,
I will tell you this: this game on Christmas Eve, Bears Cardinals will decide who gets this 3rd or 4th overall pick.
Bears Cardinals. Or what week is that?
It's the week of Christmas Eve.
We'll talk about that when we get there. But I'll say the Bears are getting something regardless because of the Panthers. But
what's up?
What? The Cardinals have their bye next week.
Yeah.
How are teams still having their bye? That's pretty astonishing as a fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Eagles had a good placed bye week. And then we're gonna have another one. Well, if the Eagles keep winning, they're going to have like 4 bye weeks because they could lock up the 1 seed by like before they play the Giants for the first time. So like, what do you even do? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But a game I want to talk about, this one right here, 6-5 Broncos visiting 6-5 Texans. And they kind of play ball 2 different ways. One team dinks and dunks, runs the ball down the field, plays good defense. And the Broncos, they're coming 5 straight. Texans, high flying offense, defense, a little questionable. I don't know. Chris, what are you seeing from this game? Because you like you said, when you watch Stroud every week, it seems like he's getting better, but now you're facing a red hot Broncos defense with Mr. Unlimited. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Broncos country, let's ride into the sunset with the L by CJ Stroud. No, but I'm excited about this game though. I think like you said, the Broncos are red hot. I didn't believe in the Broncos between us.
Neither did I. I don't think any of us did.
Between us three,
Like,
I still don't. So maybe this will help change my mind. But yeah, I mean, they have been playing really good football. But I'm a CJ Stroud believer. And I'm always a person who thinks offense beats defense. Maybe that's the basketball in me, but I just think offense beats good defense. And I think the Texans, you used a great word. I think, did you say high powered or high powered?
High flying, high powered.
High flying offense. Yeah, they do. And I think this is the CJ Stroud prove it game right here. That 6-5 coming off of L. This is a pivotal game if you want to make the playoffs and want to do all those things. So I'm looking forward to this game. I see another big game from Stroud. I do. I see a big game from Russell Wilson as well, though. With his feet and with his arm, I see him having a pretty good game. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think the Texans defense will play better than they have. I'm a fan of a lot of the players on the defense. I'm just waiting for them all to gel. The Will Anderson, I like Stingley. I like a lot of their players. Petrie, I like. So maybe this is a game they can maybe put it together and put a couple stops together and help the Texans beat the Broncos. But I think it's going to be one of the more slept on game of the weeks probably.
I think the winner of this game goes to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are kind of seeing from this game. I'd agree. Nanny, who do you have though? Who do you have?
I have the Broncos winning.
You have the Broncos winning? Okay.
6 straight. I think Peyton finally got a groove under himself. I think they finally figured out what to do in order to make this team succeed. They're not a great team. They're a pretty average team. I don't think they're better than the Steelers, honestly. But
here you go.
They can win.
I mean, I agree, but
they can win games. At the bare minimum, they could be a backdoor playoff team. And what they're doing is better than the Chargers are doing. They're putting their quarterback in positions to win. They're letting him play. Peyton came in and said, "Russ, be Russ." I think this division is a crapshoot. Aiden O'Connell is probably the second best quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes right now. Because of the way that the Chargers coaching is. Herbert's talent's all over the place. But the Chargers coaching is so low, you just drag him down. And
don't ever say that again in your life. Thank you. Justin Herbert is the second best quarterback in this division. Quite frankly, Aiden O'Connell is the worst quarterback in this division. It's not necessarily close. If you ever insult my glorious angel boy, Justin Herbert, find out where you live, which I do know where you live. And I'll make sure that a UPenn alert gets sent out. So
escape prisoner.
Watch your mouth. Yes. Richard Renzo. That's so hard. That's such a nice name.
That name is lit for sure.
His parents cooked. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely. And he got a nickname, like his nickname. What was it? When they say AKA White? That's got a nickname. You like?
No. He don't got a nickname. He got a second last name that he goes by because he's in jail a lot.
Yo, White Renzo. That's kind of hard though. It's kind of hard. Yeah, no. Never insult my glorious king though. Or I'll be in a jail cell.
That's not real. Herbert is the second best quarterback, but the point still stands. Brandon Staley is abysmal. He needs to be fired. I think Frank Reich could go into the Chargers and coach a better job than Staley's doing.
Kellen Moore, he's on the staff. Like just fire him. Kellen Moore's got this, dude.
He does.
Can't be any worse.
Y'all saw the lateral play the Chargers ran that the Cowboys ran last year?
Man, what
Kellen Moore cooked. He cooked. He cooked. That's the fastest I've ever seen Austin Eckler run.
Fantasy merchant.
Fantasy merchant. Thank you. He's a bad running back. Okay, so those are some of the games. I really like the Broncos Texans one. Like I can't emphasize that enough.
That's a game I like too. I like. I mean, outside of the obvious that we're going to talk about soon. I think this Bengals Jaguars game is going to be interesting. And the only reason I say that is because you're looking at it like the Jaguars should win because the Bengals don't have their quarterback. For some reason, this game interests me because I can always see a letdown game from a team. Like I feel like it's always one. And I think that game interests me just off the strength. Browning hasn't played great. He hasn't played the worst for a backup quarterback. He hasn't, done the worst, but this could be a big game from Chase. Hasn't had a big game in a couple weeks, obviously, because Burrow's been missing. I think that's just an interesting game. I'm not even saying the Bengals are going to win, but because I don't think that. But I think that's a game just to have on your radar, just to see, kind of what happens in that one.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's the Jaguars are prone as anybody to lose, gimme games or let teams be, competitive in games like that. What I would like to see, one, is for them bench Jake Browning, not good. Elevate AJ McCarron, who once played for the Bengals and just got off playing for the St. Louis Battlehawks in the XFL, who is serviceable, bare minimum. I remember he used to be a legend at Alabama, but
he was.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I could see this game being close. I do, Jaguars was just simply out talent them.
Yeah,
like they have with a lot of teams because they're 8-3 and fighting for that 1 seed. And, Trevor Lawrence is starting to pick up some steam. Him and Calvin Ridley are starting to really find it, really getting going. But enough small talk. Let's talk about some big dogs. Let's talk about the potential game of the year. And I wanted to do it. We can talk a little bit more
about Falcons Jets.
No, I was talking about Chargers and whoever they're playing. But so Eagles Niners. I kind of wanted to do a tale of the tape, breaking down each position because these are the two most loaded rosters in football. So yeah, let's do a tale of the tape. We can start at quarterback. Who is the better quarterback, Eagles or Niners?
Eagles.
Okay.
Not a debate. People might want to act like it's a debate. Brock Purdy is not a top 10 quarterback. Hurts is clearly top 10. Simple.
I will say this, though. Purdy is not a liability, though. I will put that out there. Jalen is better. Jalen is better, but Purdy's not a liability. And I do think he's a really good quarterback. And it's going to be a shame when Kyle Shanahan, like the little slut he is, won't extend him because he has commitment issues. Running back position, 49ers.
Yeah.
49ers, Danny?
Yes, dude. Come on.
Yeah, CMC by himself will absorb that entire running back room. Like,
you're right. I was gonna say by committee, but Gainwell and Scott.
CMC will Thanos snap the entire running back room.
Dude, Chris, CMC is the committee.
That's
Elijah
true.
Moore.
Basically,
he's the system.
He said, "You need your receiving back. He's got you. You need your blocking running back. He's got you."
He's good at
Elijah
everything.
Mitchell's good too. That's the thing.
Elijah Mitchell good too. He doesn't get snaps. He's going to be on the Steelers next year as a third running back.
Even when he is in the game, he's so good. Like, I don't know. Okay,
right.
We can move on to wide receiver units. Think we'll go Eagles here?
Hell yeah.
Do tight ends count?
No, tight ends are going to be separate.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll go Eagles too.
And then tight ends will lean San Fran. Even if Goddard is ready to play, he's no Kittle. So,
nah, Albert O clears Kittle. Be real.
Jack Stoll wipes all these bums.
He does.
Okay, so right now the Eagles have quarterback, receiving room, Niners have running back and tight end. My favorite one probably this far is offensive line. I think Trent Williams is probably the best overall lineman in between these two groups. I think the Eagles just might have the better unit though, but that is only if Lane Johnson is playing. If he's not playing, I will gladly give the edge to San Fran in that one.
He'll play.
We'll see. We'll see. I hope so. It's only fair. Need somebody to son Nick Bosa, so he needs to be there. I guess we can flip it over to the defensive side. We can talk about. I mean, man, we're going to talk about two of the best defensive lines in the NBA, in the NFL. Two best defensive lines in the NFL. I think I want to go San Fran. I think I want to go San Fran. It is really, really close. I'll put it. I think I might go Eagles interior. I can't do it, but I'm gonna have an answer. But Eagles interior, and I think I want to go San Fran on the edge.
Same.
I think I'll go San Fran overall because those edge rushers, like they have one top tier edge rusher, and then they have Chase Young, who like has the potential to be that, and he's been really good. Then you got Hargrave in the middle, so I think I'm gonna lean that. Oh my god, it is so close. Like,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Danny, what do you think?
I'm taking the Niners D line.
Taking the Niners D line. That's fair.
Because I don't count linebackers in the D line because
Well,
Hassan
yeah,
Reddick's
we'll
a linebacker.
do we even? I don't even know if we have to say linebacker. Fred Warner is the best in the game. We're begging Darius Leonard to come sign with us. So
I don't know, dude.
Clearly,
Hassan Reddick and Nolan Smith are edge rushers, and that counts as linebackers in my book.
nah, we're counting them as D line.
Then
Let's
I don't know.
Let's count them as D
They're
line
washed.
because when we say linebackers, we're talking middle linebackers. So
They're a wash in my book. Then.
they're a wash. You think like they're even?
Yep.
The one thing I like, I'm Hassan and Josh Sweat versus Young and Bosa, but Jalen Carter, like I can't emphasize enough how good him and Davis were last game. They were both phenomenal last game. Javon Hargrave is a monster. I know firsthand. I watched it last year. I'm watching it this year.
I still want to know how y'all got.
We can call it a
Jordan
wash.
Davis and Jalen Carter. I still want to know how that happened. Jesus.
Howie Black
somebody's
Magic.
got a gift. Like what?
Howie is the Black Magic plug. He actually grows it in his backyard, and then he sells it to Mike Tomlin. He sells it to Eric Spoelstra. He sells it to LeBron.
Everybody except John Harbaugh, because we look at players and we get none of them actually.
Yeah,
None of
he
them.
sells.
We get Jadeveon Clowney 6 years late. We get Odell Beckham 5 years late. It's okay.
He sells the fake stuff to the Chargers. Okay, so we got defensive lines is a wash. We got Niners clear in linebackers. Here's an interesting one. What about secondaries? Because the Eagles got better names. I've also watched them get torn to shreds.
With the addition of Bayer,
sure.
I got to go Eagles. I got to go Eagles. And I know he maybe hasn't been great, but I don't know. I think they just have more, I'll say, big playability when somebody makes a mistake. So I'll just give the edge to them off that alone. But I will say this. I think the 49ers secondary is very, very solid. And I think they may even be more sturdy, you can say. But I think as far as big plays go, and I think this game will maybe be won by big plays because it'll be so close in the trenches. So maybe you have to, make a big play on defense or make a big play on special teams. I think the Eagles got a better chance at doing that with their secondary. So I'd give them the edge.
Yeah, with Milk, Kevin Byard, Darius Slay, and James Bradbury, I don't see many people in the Niners secondary that really pose a threat to me, honestly.
And with Mufunga being out too.
Diamine Lenore, come on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I could definitely see where you're coming on that one. I'd probably go Eagles because I think they got, they got Kevin Byard. You got two good corners, and then you have Reed Blankenship, who is he's certainly back there to say the least. But okay, so tail of the tape breakdown. We got Eagles quarterback, Niners running backs, Eagles wide receivers, Niners tight ends, Eagles offensive line, wash on defensive line. Niners got the linebackers, Eagles got the secondary. I guess special teams are a wash too. I mean, actually, no. I'm giving them the edge because Britton Covey, who is, I never thought I'd be saying this, is like actually a net positive, like a huge net positive on punt returns and stuff. But all right, well, that's enough for the review. We can move on to hots and locks and then into Summit savings. I guess I can. I don't mind going first. With the hots and locks for. So for my lock of the week, I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs over the Green Bay Packers. I think Packers are 3-1 in their last 4. I'm gonna go with Mahomes. I think they looked really good against the Raiders. I think they're starting to find some footing actually in that receiver room. Maybe get Rashee Rice some more touches. Let him actually get into a rhythm. And my hot take is going to be Bryce Young and the 1-10 Panthers beat the 4-7 Buccaneers. Yeah, so those are going to be mine. Chris or Danny, whoever wants to go next.
Chris, you
I'll
can go.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. I was just typing them in so I didn't forget. Okay, so hots and locks for this week. Well, I'm gonna lock in the Falcons over the Jets. I'm locking that one because I feel like I've been so trash in my locks recently, and I want to ride my boy Bijan and Kyle Pitts. I'm still there. Drake London, I'm still there. Free y'all. Justin Fields is the Atlanta Falcons in my alternate reality. Trust.
fun ass
So
team. That would be so fun, man.
trust. I'm trying to tell you. So I'm going with that as my lock, and then my hot take. I have a couple I was thinking about, but I will say my hot take is Packers over Chiefs,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why.
I see you.
I was kind of ignoring Jordan Love because I just didn't believe in him. Not didn't believe because I think he was good. He had just been talked about for so long. I hadn't seen much. I'm like, But I really watched him and sat down and watched him play last week. He looked like a really good NFL quarterback. He looked, what he looked like? He looked like a player like Chet or Blake Griffin who came in on their second year of a rookie year, because they benefited from being around good players and being around just the league as a whole. And I know it's been more than 2 years for Jordan Love for sure, but you can just tell that matters for late game decision making, all that. The same thing we raved about CJ Stroud doing in his first year. I think Jordan Love does some of the same things. So, and I don't like how the Chiefs been looking. So I'll give the edge to the Packers in that one. So that's my hot take.
They're going to be the greatest I'm just going to say this now. They're going to be the greatest quarterback class of all time. 5 franchise quarterbacks in one draft, all within the first 2 rounds. Great stuff. All right, Danny, floor is yours.
Yeah, this might be the first time I've ever done this. My hot take is that the Panthers beat the Buccaneers. The Bucs look like they're spiraling out of control. Baker got hurt. Kyle Trask might have to play a football game. I just think the Panthers
that
get it
ain't.
done.
Oh Lord. Yeah,
Danny, you sound so
finished the game,
concerned.
but- Yeah, dude, it's not a good situation to be in for them.
yeah. You might as well
But
pull up Cam Newton.
I will tell you this. I think the new head coach can give the Panthers a spark. So it's not really like to spike the Bucs. I think the new head coach can give the Panthers some new life, same way Matt Canada's firing did.
Interim head coach are 1-0 on their first. Are always undefeated on their first week of taking over the team. Don't look that up because I think that's fake. Personally, if I were a team, I would just fire my coach every week and then we never lose. But that's just common knowledge to me. And then what was the lock?
My lock of the week is none other than the Chiefs of the Packers.
Okay, so me and you were kind of in the same boat. Chris is going Falcons, and then going opposite of us on the hot take with the Packers over the Chiefs. All right, well, we can get into Summit savings to wrap the episode up. Did anyone want to go first? I mean, I can go first again. It don't matter to me. I kind of have it set up already.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Okay, I can go first. And we're gonna go. I'm gonna keep everything Sunday, so you know. So I have. I know I usually avoid the touchdown scores, but I think I want to give it a shot this week. I'm gonna give it a shot. I have 5 touchdown scores. And they're all gonna be actually in the 4:00 window. There's only 4 games in the 4:00 window, but I got 5 touchdown scores. So, bear with me. So I have 2 in the Eagles game. I'm gonna take Devontae Smith and Christian McCaffrey to score touchdowns. Pretty simple there. Devontae Smith has scored touchdowns, I believe, in 2 of his last 3, and a crucial one last week. And in the past 2 games, specifically, Jalen's been going to him a lot. Even if he didn't have the touchdown in the Chiefs game, he set them up to score the 1-yard touchdown. So I expect him to get in the end zone. And then what's a 49ers game without Christian McCaffrey scoring? Over to Panthers Bucks. I'm going to take Mike Evans to get into the end zone. He's probably the only trustworthy person on the Bucks I will take to get in the end zone, and he's one of my favorite players in the NFL personally. And then as for the Panthers, I actually see Adam Thielen getting in the end zone. I know taking a Panthers receiver to score is hard. But I think they're going to sustain some offense, and I think Bryce Young's going to be able to find him for a score. And then for the last 4 p.m. game, I'm going to have Jerome Ford scoring a rushing touchdown. So I got Devontae Smith, Christian McCaffrey, Adam Thielen, Mike Evans, Jerome Ford all scoring touchdowns this week.
Damn, I like that.
Yeah, like it's not too crazy. I mean, like Adam Thielen scoring is probably a little much, but I got 2 running backs. I got Mike Evans, who he's always a sturdy pick at receiver score, and then Devontae Smith, who's been hot lately. I think I put some thought into that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I like that one. That was lit.
I'll go next.
ahead,
Chris,
baby.
I'll let you have some time to marinate.
Marinate.
So I got Chargers money line over the Patriots, and then the over in the game. And then I got Atlanta Falcons money line, and then over 34 match points. That just seems too low. 34 points, bro. That's 18-18. Not gonna happen. And then you got Dolphins money line over 49.5. Dolphins putting up 35 themselves against the Commanders. Come on. And you got the Steelers money line, the Broncos money line, the Lions money line, the Titans money line,
Oh my god.
and that's it. $10
Okay, so
pays out $17.80.
So you said Chargers money line plus over on the game, Falcons money line plus over on the game, Dolphins money line plus over on the game, Steelers money line, Broncos money line, and who else? You said Titans?
Yeah, I got Chargers, Steelers, Broncos, Lions, Falcons, Dolphins.
All right. That's a lot of money lines, but hey, I'll throw the no sweat on it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I'm definitely telling y'all 2 plays. Danny, that sounds like Glass. So you've been talking to the Black Magic Man. I'll talk to you afterwards. Don't worry about it.
Hey! I'll tell you this.
How much for a pound of the black magic powder?
The way I cooked this up, I had a parlay between the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock slates, and I hit every leg on the 1 o'clock slate this week.
Damn.
Yeah, you should have cashed out, fam. You should have cashed out.
I cashed out for 30, and then after the Eagles were down to 10 points, and then put $30 on the parlay. With the Eagles, the Eagles were winning, and the Chiefs were down 14-0, and I took the Chiefs minus 3.5. They still covered, but the Eagles odds shifted to -6. The parlay would have smacked if it was still -3.
Damn.
It would have been void on that part.
Yeah. Well, it's Chris's time to shine on the mic.
Bad beat of the moment.
So
Wow.
I'll take CJ Stroud passing yards over. Kyler Murray pass rush yards under because he has to go against TJ Watt, and I don't recommend that for anybody. Tyreek Hill receiving yards over. Jonathan Taylor touchdown because he's playing against the Titans, and they aren't even a real football team last time I checked. Derrick Henry touchdown because the Colts don't even have a real football team last time I checked, so they're going to score against each other. And then last, I don't believe in him, and this is going to push my agenda. Desmond Ridder pass rush yards under because he's playing against the Jets, and I want Justin Fields to be a Atlanta Falcon. So this will just help me if he just plays absolute trash. So yeah, Desmond Ridder pass rush yards under.
That's some generational hating right there. But
yeah, pushing agendas. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, whatever puts food on the table, whatever, pays the bills, you got to do it. Yeah, those hots and locks, those are the Summit savings. I put 5 touchdown scores on the table, and I think I might have the most reasonable one. But,
Banger, actually.
But hey, we'll see. I haven't really been smacking with the look, once NBA season is in full effect, I'm telling y'all, got y'all with lays.
You just wait to lock in.
And that's going to be hard because we're a weekly podcast, so I can't give you the lays tonight. I'll give you all the Thursday night lays. I'm telling y'all, man. PRAs are the way to go, man.
It
Points,
is.
rebounds, assists. Come on, because imagine you got Bam Adebayo for 30 PRA.
That's light. That's hitting every night.
1785.
Exactly. But what if he has a bad shooting night, but he has a monstrous rebounding night? But you don't want to take him for a certain amount of points. It's just I'm gonna mush it all together because he's a Swiss Army knife, and Bam has never let me down.
That's why you take the stars, points, rebounds, assists. If they're all playing on the same night, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Bam, Trey Young points and assists. Now rebounds, he's small. Halliburton points and assists. Lock it in.
SGA PRA.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is so
And
free.
Josh Giddey
And
under
the fact,
PRA, 17 and a
and
half.
yeah, and the fact that freak's gonna be gone. The PRA is gonna be great. That freak's gonna be gone soon.
He's going to that Deshaun Watson camp. Nasty
Yeah,
work.
so if this was David Stern's league, Josh Giddey will already be 6 feet under the
Wait.
under
I heard-
Alcatraz.
I heard Giddy got cleared.
Yeah, they said that they
Cleared
had
by
knew
what?
about it for a while and that it wasn't foul play. That's what Andrew Bogut said. Now Andrew Bogut is Australian. He's
No,
supposed to know something.
I thought Andrew Bogut said OKC just knew about it and they didn't do nothing about it.
I've seen two different quotes. You know, Twitter's a liar, so we got to see.
I've seen shit saying that she's 15. I've seen shit saying they met when she was 17, he was 19. Look, man, you're a professional basketball player. Fuck the right women. just
Whoa.
go for the badder, older bitch. Go for a cougar, man.
This will
Play
be
it
censored
safe.
out of the podcast.
It will not. We're an explicit show. Last week, I literally put a clip at the beginning of the show saying the Chargers defense is ass. I also called Jay Davis ass earlier. We're an explicit podcast. That's fine. I'm 21 years old. I don't think a job would ever hunt me down because I cursed on a podcast. I don't curse in my writing. So
is the Chargers defense comparable to fucking women? Probably, because it's ass.
Who's worse, Brandon Staley or Josh Giddey?
Brandon Staley, because he's ruining careers.
Yeah, Brandon Staley is a real criminal. I tell you that.
He's ruining multiple careers. Josh Giddey's only ruining one.
His own. and
with that,
minors. Yeah.
And with that,
yeah.
Tony will give us our roundabout.
Yeah, let's get on out of here. We're comparing a actual sex offender to Brandon Staley. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you're listening to this on audio platforms, make sure you leave a 5-star rating, leave a download, like the episode, and then head on over to the YouTube, do all the same things. From AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.